Beautiful ones, wars begin under skies like these, and so do revolutions of the soul. On September 22nd, Mars will enter Scorpio, its own domain, and collide right here with Pluto, retrograde in Aquarius. The sparks we talked about yesterday have reached the powder keg. Globally, truths can no longer stay hidden. And personally, neither can yours. Welcome back, beautiful ones. I'm Cindi, astrologer, mystic, and your guide through the stars. And this is our deep dive, where every Monday we take one of the powerful transits and go beneath the surface. And don't worry, you don't need to know astrology to understand this. I'll walk you step by step through what it means for the world, what it means for you, and most importantly, how to work with it so you're not swept away by the fire, but transformed by it. Now, if you watched yesterday's video, you know we covered part one, the sparks that Mars set off with Chiron, right here, and Jupiter, remember, and Venus, right here. But these energies right now are so important, so charged, that one video wasn't enough. That's why today we're continuing with part two. On September 22nd, Mars will move out of Libra and into Scorpio, its home sign, and then collide immediately with Pluto, retrograde in Aquarius. On the 24th is when it becomes exact, okay? And the moon will be traveling with Mars at the exact moment of the square becoming exact, okay? So making this not just a clash of power, but one that all of us feel in our emotional core. This, my beautiful ones, is the turning point in the Mars-Pluto cycle that began with their conjunction back in February of 2024. Then it was tested in June square, where they squared in Taurus, and then intensified during the oppositions that we've had earlier this year with them. And now we stand at the crossroads. We will repeat the old wounds of power and division, or we will transform it into something new. And here's where the powder keg goes global. When Mars collides with Pluto, the world feels it. These are the two planets most associated with war, upheaval, and raw power. And this time, the moon is right there with Mars. That means it's not just governments and leaders under pressure. The people feel it in their bodies, in their emotions, their collective pulse. Globally, this is the moment when secrets surface and shadows can no longer be contained. Pluto retrograde in Aquarius is about the power of systems, governments, technology, and alliances. Mars in Scorpio is relentless, strategic, and exposing. Put them together in a square, and truths buried beneath the surface are forced out into the open. So we may see in this form of political scandals, covert operations revealed, hidden corruptions exposed. We may see alliances that are fractured under the weight of betrayal. We may even see military escalations or protest surge with a level of intensity that cannot be ignored. But here's the deeper story. The moon traveling with Mars makes this emotional. It's not just about leaders or elites. It's about people. Protest will feel raw. Outrage feels unavoidable. Tears and anger mingle on the streets, and the collective fear can easily rise at this time. And yet, this is not only a story of collapse. Mars and Pluto give humanity another chance. That's what they're doing. These alignments repeat because we haven't fully learned the lesson of power, shadow, and truth. This is our opportunity to progress as a consciousness, to work together rather than divide, to refuse to repeat the same cycles of domination and destruction. Pluto doesn't just destroy, he reveals. And Mars in Scorpio doesn't just fight, it cuts to the truth. So the real question on the world stage isn't only what power will collapse, it's also what hidden truth will we finally face together so humanity can step forward instead of backward. This, my beautiful ones, is the medicine of Mars and Pluto. They remind us that when the powder keg ignites, we can either burn down what we need to release, or we can light the torch that leads us forward. And remember, all of this unfolding between eclipses, we just moved through the Pisces Lunar Eclipse at 15 degrees, and we're headed towards that Virgo Solar Eclipse at 29 degrees. That means these power struggles and revelations are part of something larger, the ending of old cycles and the beginning of new ones. Humanity is standing in a doorway, and Mars and Pluto are making sure we can't ignore it. And if you personally felt the pressure building in your own life, this is why. Mars square Pluto isn't just about governments and nations. It's about you as well. Mars in Scorpio awakens your deepest survival instincts. It's the fight or flight energy, the urge to protect yourself at all cost. Pluto retrograde in Aquarius forces you to confront the patterns, the fears, and the power struggles you usually keep hidden. Put them together, and suddenly you feel pushed to the edge, like the smallest spark could just set you off. And with the moon traveling alongside Mars, this isn't just mental or abstract. You feel it in your body, in your heart, it races. Your old traumas surface. Your emotions may swing between anger, grief, and exhaustion. It can feel like it's just way too much. But here's the truth. The pressure is not here to punish you. It's here to show you what you've carried for way too long. That power struggle in your relationship, that fear of not being in control, that habit that you have of hiding your real feelings. Mars and Pluto are spotlighting the shadows so you can choose differently. This, my beautiful ones, is your second chance. The same old wounds may flare, the same old conflicts may rise, but you don't have to repeat them. You can pause, you can breathe, and guess what? You can respond instead of react. You can see the truth without letting it consume you. Because just like humanity, each of us is standing at the crossroads. Will we keep reliving the same old battles, or will we finally use the fire to fuel transformation? And this isn't happening in isolation. You are between two eclipses as well, closing out an old cycle with the Pisces Lunar Eclipse at 15 degrees and preparing for the Virgo Solar Eclipse at 29 degrees. The universe is saying this chapter ends and a new one begins. The choice is how you meet the threshold. So how are you going to meet the threshold? And the moment when you choose awareness over reaction, truth over denial, or connection over control, those are not small victories. Those, my beautiful ones, are medicine as well. They're how you light the torch forward in your life. Now, here's where we take the fire and turn it into fuel. This is what makes me different than others. I don't just tell you what the stars mean. I give you ways to live through them. Because to me, astrology isn't just information, it's transformation. So here's how you can work with Mars and Pluto colliding this week. Let's try some journaling. So I want you to, again, find a space where you're really comfortable. It's nice and comforting around you, maybe aesthetically pleasing. So at your desk, at a corner nook, on your bed, wherever you feel comfortable. And I want you to have a pen and paper or journal. Okay. And I want you to ask yourself, what truth am I avoiding? And then ask yourself, what power struggles am I replaying? And also ask, what do I fear losing control over? Pluto will keep pressing you until you face what you've been hiding. That's how Pluto works. Okay. Now, the second one would be, let's do some grounding. So place your hands on your belly and inhale deeply. And when you exhale, so inhale for a count of 4. And when you exhale for a count of 4, I want you to make a sound. Okay. Whatever that sound is for you, but I'll give you a sound. You can, when you inhale deeply and then go, like that. Okay. Just make whatever sound is, that your soul is talking, whatever sound comes out, right? And I want you to repeat 3 times. Okay. Mars and Scorpio wants to hold power tight. Okay. Sound and breath helps you release it safely. That makes sense. You're going to be running the energy through you. Don't hold it. You've been holding it for way too long. Okay. Now let's do a little bit of tapping. Again, like yesterday's, I want you to cross your arms like you're hugging yourself. And I want you to tap gently on your upper arms, just like a hug. Okay. And as you tap, get in a slower rhythm and then say, even though I feel pressure, I choose to feel safe. Okay. Even though I feel pressure, I choose to feel safe. Then I want you to move to your collarbone and tap lightly there. And then say, even though I fear losing control, I allow truth to set me free. Okay. And then you're going to move under your eye and say, and tap there lightly. Even though endings are here, I am ready for new beginnings. Okay. And I want you to continue to do that until you feel your body soften, until you feel a little bit calmer. Okay. You'll be able to feel your energy running. All right. And then the last one, you can do a ritual or steps to take, however your belief system is. All right. Call it a ritual, call it a steps to take. And what I want you to do is on paper, I want you to write one thing you refuse to carry into this next cycle. And then I want you to safely burn it with a bowl of water. And as the smoke rises when you're burning it safely, I want you to say, this ending clears the way for my new beginning. Okay? Because remember, Mars and Pluto together can destroy or they can transform. And guess what? The choice has always been yours. So what are you going to choose? All right, my beautiful ones, let me leave you this. I want you to remember this Mars and Pluto collision isn't happening in isolation. We are all standing between eclipses. The Pisces Lunar Eclipse that has already closed a chapter, and the Virgo Solar Eclipse, where we're headed at 29 degrees, is about to begin a new one. Mars is colliding with Pluto right in this doorway. It's going to be forcing endings. It's going to be demanding truth. And it's clearing space for what must begin. If you haven't already watched my solar eclipse video, go there next. I'll put that right at the end of this video, because these stories are woven together. They're going to make sense on the bigger picture. Mars and Pluto are the fire, but the eclipses are the threshold. Okay. Think of them as portals. We're going into new timelines, new vibration, new energy. And don't forget, YouTube has added that new hype feature, and I want to thank those of you that have hyped my video. That is so kind of you to do that, and I appreciate you acknowledging the work that I do. I really appreciate you guys. So if this message resonates, tap that hype button because it helps the algorithm spread these teachings further, and it's helping our community grow together. Okay. This is a turning point, not just for nations, but for souls. The shadows are surfacing. The power struggles are real. But listen to me carefully as I say this. You are not here to repeat the past. You are here to end what no longer serves and to begin again with strength. The sparks have ignited. The powder keg is lit. But you, beautiful one, well, you were made to carry the torch forward.